Rescue specialists from South Africa have been deployed to Mozambique to assist communities affected by severe flooding. The mission follows a request from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs and is being carried out under the South African flag. To help us understand what's happening on the ground, we're joined now by Aidan Justus, who is Chief Executive Officer of Rescue South Africa. Aidan, good morning and thank you for joining us as Rise and Shine.
Good morning, Asanda. Thank you very much for having me.
It's our pleasure. So can you give us an overview in terms of what's currently happening in Mozambique and why South Africa was called to assist?
What's currently happening in Mozambique is widespread flooding, which is, as you mentioned, carried on for a couple of weeks now. There was an escalation in the situation just due to the widespread flooding, where the mechanism through the government called on the United Nations for assistance. The United Nations, UN OCHA, called on Rescue South Africa for assistance. Rescue South Africa, following due process and protocol, contacted National Disaster Management to inform them of our availability for the local situations currently unfolding, which are currently de-escalating. The National Disaster Management Centre mentioned that Rescue South Africa at this stage was not needed in South Africa, to which we indicated we would be turning out based on the request from Mozambique.
So what specific role is Rescue South Africa playing there in terms of rescue efforts, and how is it coordinating with partners like the University of Johannesburg, or UJ, and the United Nations?
Rescue South Africa has been requested to provide technical rescue support, specifically in swift water and aviation rescue. The world-class facility that's been established at the University of Johannesburg, the Rescue Centre Simulation, the Simulation Centre, my apologies, has been set up in an academic setting where students are educated. However, that will never entail real-life situations. The real-life situations can only happen on the ground, which is currently happening as we speak. Our team of 6 expert personnel are on the ground performing rescues. Yesterday, they saved just short of 100 lives. The team leader, who is the rescue center manager, Connor Hartnoddy, is currently on the ground coordinating our efforts on that end.
Oh, how crucial or why are these capabilities of swift water and aviation specialists in a crisis like this?
Unfortunately, as things are turning out and unfolding in the SADC region, specifically, the weather systems are escalating in terms of water. We are expecting more to be coming. We have not yet entered into the cyclone season. And as we are entailing and entering into those seasons, we are seeing more water coming down. And within Africa and the African context, unfortunately, not many can swim, which results in potential areas of loss of life, loss of livelihoods, and that is an impact that will be lasting for many, many years.
Unfortunately. What are some of the challenges operationally that you are facing on the ground? Are the people you are trying to assist responding well to your direction? Are they cooperating in ways that are conducive for you to be able to carry out your rescue missions successfully?
The challenges are the sheer scale and the sheer amount of water that is currently in Mozambique, which was similar and is being impacted by the water that came down in Mpumalanga and Limpopo. As experienced in previous deployments and years, families do not want to leave their livelihoods, everything that they've worked for. With the water that's come in, when they are asked to leave those homes, they may never see it again, which is difficult. And understandably, after having been in and amongst the water for many weeks now and been asked to leave that space and that little area that they've built up is a difficult situation. However, food is limited, clean water to drink is limited, and we are seeing those effects on the ground at the moment.
What message would you like to share in terms of the importance of coordinated efforts when it comes to disasters like this and regional cooperation in dealing?
The major message and the new chapter that Rescue South Africa is entering into is that response is not the answer. we have got to prepare those individuals, specifically community members, well in advance. Building resilience is too late or is not going to happen if you're responding to the effects. The only way that we see this situation unfolding in favor of those communities is educating community members as well as the first responders, equipping them with the necessary skills to mitigate the loss of life and the loss of livelihoods.
Aidan, thank you so much for updating us on this situation and for the efforts that you are involved in.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks. That's Aidan Justus, Chief Executive Officer of Rescue South Africa. They've been deployed to Mozambique there, or they've gone there with collaborating with the University of Johannesburg as well as the United Nations, and looking at the severe flooding that's been happening in Mozambique, with some specialists joining them.